This is my dear friend Elvis. He's a photographer and camera designer in Slovenia. I'm in awe of him and his work, so I asked if I could feature his photographs in a Sexplanations episode alongside my experience of sexuality in my aging body. I'm Dr. Lindsey, clinical sexologist and host of this sex-curious show, Sexplanations, which has been running for over a decade. I was 31 when this channel started at a called Sexual Prime for Women. At 42, I'm struggling to see myself as sexual, or at least sexually appealing. This is in part because wrinkles and other marks of time are often paired in society with sex. The visibility of sexuality in middle-aged or older people is lacking. I asked Elvis to help. To increase this over a quick WhatsApp message, Elvis and I planned to play. To be outside, take photos, do something physical that my fibromyalgia can handle because I'm being held. I had done acro yoga with Elvis 4 years ago in Mexico and a handful of times with others since. It's not something I have a lot of experience doing, but I made some small helpful decisions like tight clothing so he can see and feel my joints. I brushed my teeth and got a mat for comfort. Like sex, this is all like sex. We came up with a safe word, but it was easy to communicate our successes and limits without it. Until we knew how to move together without talking, we needed to talk the whole time. Again, like sex. I didn't know what he needed or what I expected. I loved being above him thinking about this, how sex is so similar to all these other partner or group activities we do in life, but we get all jammed up about sex because we think about it conditionally. No talking, only moaning, only in private, only when I feel sexy, only when we're young and beautiful. We restrict our sexualities to such specific conditions and lose all the play and fun that makes it so powerful in the first place. I've been doing this. I've been thinking that my crepey, loose, hairy, gravity-worn flesh sack is too whatever to get on someone and ride them, which isn't true. It's a matter of needing a friend to hold you up and tell you where to put your hands, your legs, and your attitude. Elvis and I have different native languages, and yet we were able to communicate all the movements and anatomy with each other. We were also able to non-verbally cue each other with taps and squeezes and wobbles. He could tell when I was about to fall. I could tell when I needed to push harder to strengthen our alignment. Like sex, we were only going to get the performance we were after if we communicated. I loved it. I loved the confusion, the learning, the laughing. Each attempt, even those that required pauses and retries, was not a failure but progress. And the better I got at the moves, the more I understood what to do with my limbs and core, the more confident I felt at 42. Keeping in mind that Elvis, man of the Balkans, was doing the majority of the labor. This is me emphasizing his extraordinary strength. Sex, it all relates. We each bring unique abilities and knowledge to our sessions. At one point we needed a spotter, Elisa, because Elvis was determined to show me what 42 can do. I giggled thinking of her in the sex metaphor as a therapist or a third partner. The more difficult or technical the moves were, the more support they deserved. Elisa's not a threat to my experience. I was flying, still exuberant, just safer with her there. It was the responsible thing to do and joyful to share the experience with even more people. Do I feel sexier? Yes. Look at me. She's in her body, that body. Do I recognize that this isn't the solution for everybody? Absolutely. Not everyone has an Elvis or a tiny person genetics that makes it easier to rotate with one's feet. It's the effort that I want to make visible to myself and as inspiration to others. I have a fresh perspective on my body and my sexuality. So with that, I took my hot and slightly motion-sick badass body to the stream and played some more, because some joy and sensuality can be all on our own. Masturbation, you get it. Stay curious. In case some of you are interested in Elvis's work outside of these fun Polaroids, the man has an Instagram account of his photography and the photography of others who use his equipment. The cameras are made by hand in the most beautiful workshop I've ever seen. Each one is detailed with care to be lightweight, intuitive to use, and as stunning as the images produced by them. He sells pinhole cameras for those of you wanting a unique photography experience with a sculpture-like design, and his master of cameras, the Icon 4x5 large format bellows camera, is astounding. You can learn more on his website linked below. Thank you, Elvis and Elisa, for playing with me.